All right, what's going on, gang? Good morning. I guess that I am going to. Well, I'm not ready for this at all. This place is a mess. Um, I wasn't aware that May was National ME Lyme Disease Month or whatever. Um, and I'm now seeing all these things that Ren posted and were posted by other stuff because of it. And I am going to, um, I guess, because of everything, the direction we're going here, that Red brought us with chapters, we are going to start a new playlist where we react to um, medical stuff on YouTube. Anything on stuff on Lyme disease and etc. We are going to do some reactions to. Um, Being that I've been a 25-year-long veteran, excuse me, my cappuccino is taking a minute to go down. Being that I've lived with this for 25 years now, poorly, it's been winning this whole entire time. And since Ren's come out to bring it to everybody's attention, I want to do the same because I spent decades just in the dark by myself because I had nowhere to turn to. Um, I was diagnosed 25 years ago, and back then you type chronic Lyme disease into a Google search, and you got nothing back, nothing. Um, and I've been telling my family for years and decades, there's just nothing to do. The stuff that I see online is just all people just wishing, and they're just running down these rabbit holes, trying these different things that just don't work, and they fail, and they end up with worse issues than what they started with. And I wasn't going to be one of those people that just chased everything and got your hopes up and just to have them dashed because I went through a long period of that trying everything, just trying all kind of different things to to deal with your issues. And for me, the big thing is the neuropathy, which is what Ren talks about, which is the pain in his limbs and his body. That's part of this. It's a variant of the neuropathy. Neuropathy is just your nerves are just in pain, um, or always firing, sending signals that there's something wrong when there isn't. Like right now, my neck and shoulder itches, my back itches, my leg itches. Mostly what I get are itch sensations. They don't go as far as pain. It's very rarely that they dip that far. And even if it is, it's a momentary inconvenience. Like I'll feel like a bug bite or a pinch, like I pinched myself with something or whatever. Um, Sometimes I'll just be sitting here and I'll just be like this growing pain that I'll have to reach back and touch or something or whatever just to make it move, make it go away. So anyway, all right, we got Red. He's got this living with ME. May is Lyme Awareness Month, and this was done a while ago. This is he was 26, so this was back in 2016. What's that? 9? Jesus Christ, 8 years ago. Um, this is 8 years old, and let's hear what he's got to say.
I'm 26 and I suffer from. Hi, My name's Ren, I'm 26 and I suffer from Lyme disease and ME. And this is Lyme disease and ME awareness month, so I thought I'd start making videos again. I used to, and I stopped because I got too depressed with how little progress I was making, but you know what? I want to be part of the wave of change because it desperately needs change, man.
Very true, and that's why I'm doing this, because I want to be part of the wave of change too. If there's going to be one, I want to be part of it. I don't have much else going for my legacy and what I'm leaving behind, as far as family and a legacy. So if I can help and have a tiny little YouTube presence to remember myself through the ages, then that's what we got. But anyway, yep. Yeah, I forgot what I said now.
I go to my doctors at the moment and they can't treat me. All over the world people are suffering. If you just start searching, like if you're a normal person and hasn't even heard about this, go into the support groups and you'll see the multitude of the amount of suffering that people are going through. For me to even be here talking to you, I'm on countless medications, drugs, supplements, very strict diet, just to function. And even with then, I feel like crap every day. I woke up feeling like I haven't slept. My brain sometimes just doesn't work. I've got pain constantly in my legs, my feet. And the difficult thing is because it's not visible on here, like because I haven't got a broken arm or because I haven't got some sort of horrible rash or something, it's very much just inside, and people with things like MS or ALS and things like that will be able to relate to that. But the reason I'm making this video is in the light of recent events that since I've been sick, I was given the diagnosis ME for years before the doctors realised I did have Lyme disease. And since I've been diagnosed, every single person that I know who had the diagnosis ME who then went on to get tested for Lyme disease turned out positive for Lyme disease. So it begs the question, is ME actually Lyme disease? But I'm not sure. Is the answer to that. Maybe it's not, but one of the things, oh hang on, the crucial thing above all of that is that regardless of whether it's ME or if it is Lyme disease, there's not nearly enough research being done. People are left being to suffer, and I will not sit by and watch this happen for my whole life, where the medical community just ignores the fact that people are dying. Like, I can go to my doctor and they'll give me a couple of weeks of antibiotics and then that's it. If my symptoms persist, maybe I'm given emotional support to try and deal with the fact that I feel like crap all the time. But if you look at the figures of the amount being spent on Lyme disease or ME, they're minimal in compared to other illnesses, and yet Lyme disease is one of the highest, fastest spreading diseases on the planet at the moment. The CDC, the Centre for Disease Control, just estimated that Lyme disease, they said a few years ago that it was 10,000 people a year maybe get it in America. Now they've 10 times that figure and say it could be closer to the millions. And it mimics so many other things, so people can be being diagnosed with ALS, MS.
I think that in the last video that I just did a reaction to, which was Tucker Carlson, he was talking to a lady about Lyme disease. I think that they said 13,000 a day now for Lyme disease. And Ren just said, was that 10,000 a year back in 2016? And now we're talking 13,000 a day. I think that was the stat. I don't remember. I have very hard time remembering statistics. Yeah, it's crazy. It's on the rise. It's growing. And you get it again, which I just looked up to see if you you can get it again. You can get it multiple times. It's once you get rid of it, it's not a cure. You're not cured. All you've done is kicked it away for the time being. So, any moment you get bit again, and you're back down the same road. Um, I'm so glad that I have an enclosed yard for my dogs now. We have a lot of deer a lot around here, a lot of deer, and they are not shy. They are so used to the neighborhood around here and people feeding them. My uncle feeds them. My uncle, I call him a Disney princess because we have my cousin has a horse here. Had two horses, but has a horse here, and every day my uncle walks down. Every morning he walks down to feed them and water them every day and every night. So twice a day. So twice a day he goes walking down there uh, with feed. He stops here, turns on the water, and uses a hose from our house. Go down there to give him water. But he feeds the deer by hand. So it's like I just picture him as he's walking down there with just birds flying behind him, resting on his shoulder, and deer. It's just looking like a Disney princess, just looking like Snow White, traipsing through the forest. Um, it's ridiculous, but that's what I'm saying. These deer, they've got no sense of fear anymore. So they are literally. I can walk out the front door of the house, and there'll be one standing right there on the sidewalk, um, between the front door and the driveway, eating the bushes, eating the vegetation from the bushes right there in the flower beds. I could drop a brick out of one of the windows onto a deer if I wanted to, probably. That's just how close they get to the house. So I'm shocked by the fact that by having an enclosed part of a yard, I've managed to protect my dogs somewhat from the ticks, from fleas and ticks from the deer, because the deer can't get in, so they're on the other side, and I haven't, knock on wood, I have not had an issue yet where I found a tick, or or where I found a tick on any of my dogs, because of the enclosed area. Periodically, they've ended up with a flea or two, but that was also when we had these outdoor feral cats because we did live in a farm. It was a farm at one point. They're long gone now. I think we're down to one outdoor cat. So, but anyway, enough about this dumb shit. Let's continue here, Ren.
Depression, all those sorts of things, and it turns out to be Lyme disease later on down the line, years down the line. They're like, I still feel like crap, I'm feeling worse and worse every day, I've got all these symptoms, and it turns out to be Lyme disease. So it begs the question, like, if we've got an epidemic.
Oh, that's what I paused it for. Oh, yes. People finding out later. They think they've got something else, and then later on they finally get tested. And yes, they find out. If you think that you have any kind of disease, I would have Lyme disease tested first just to get it off the list, because it's one of those things you got to catch it early. The earlier you catch it, the better you're going to be. And why you wouldn't want to catch it as soon as possible? This is this is worse than cancer. How quickly this will mess you up. Cancer will take could take months, years, decades, maybe. I don't know. But this will punch you, man. This will gut punch you, quick. So get tested. I see people on Discord all the time saying that they how they've been suffering for years, and I'm like, go get tested for Lyme disease, and they don't do it. They sit there and they argue with you about it. Like, go get that thing checked off the box, man. Um, don't don't go through what Ren went through. I can't imagine a decade of. I can't imagine going a decade without getting that first antibiotic treatment to kill the pain. I couldn't imagine. I mean, you'd want to die. I want to die sometimes just by lack of sleep, just because I'm not sleeping. It's just sometimes I just feel like crying at night, but I don't have the energy for it to even do that. Um,
Epidemic that's spreading, why isn't more being done? And also, like, the treatments as we have it are at the moment, if you find someone who is kind of brave enough to treat you, at the moment, if you find someone who is kind of brave enough to treat you, you will be given years of antibiotics. But that has also been shown to be prone to lots of relapses, and antibiotics come with a whole host of side effects themselves. So we're kind of left between in a rock and a hard place. And again, it begs the question, like, because why isn't more money being pumped into it? Because if you think about the drain on the economy, if all these people are being made disabled by a bacteria, then it makes sense to work out exactly what's going wrong. Is it an immune thing that's going wrong? Is it the fact that the bacteria persists and you can't get rid of it? Whatever it is, these people are being left disabled, and that is a massive financial drain on the economy. So if you put money into treating these things, there would be more money. So you're spending money to make a lot more. So if that is the reason that not enough is being done, that's what I give to you. Or if there's another reason, if it's just that science hasn't caught up yet with how to treat it, then just do more, please. But I've been looking into it. I've kind of been forced to find my own way, and a lot of people with Lyme will recognise this pattern where they've been kind of abandoned by the medical community, and so they'll be left to do their own research, find out what treatments work for them, etc. And and they have to kind of make their own way. I've been looking into Lyme disease quite a lot, and there's a few things that jump out at me. So Lyme disease is Borrelia causes Lyme disease. Borrelia is the bacteria, and it's a spirochete in the same family as things like Leptosporidia and syphilis and things like that. I haven't planned this video, so forgive me if I pause and things, because this is just from what I know, and I'm just thought I'd just speak out loud. But so Lyme disease gets into the body, and it sheds these things out, but and things, because this is this and things like that. I haven't.
Sorry, I'm trying to figure out where that ping's coming from because I don't notice it on my screen, so I'm wondering if it's a ping coming through off of Ren's thing. That's all I was trying to figure out. I will try not to. I'll stop.
Plan this video, so forgive me if I pause and things, because this is just from what I know, and I'm just thought I'd just speak out loud. But so Lyme disease.
It's his computer pinging, not mine. That's driving me crazy. I kept looking. I'm like, well, who's messaging me? And because I try to close out all those programs just so that doesn't happen. So I'm not distracted while I'm doing this. Yeah, that's okay. That's got to be Ren's computer with the pings.
Gets into the body, and it sheds these things called outer surface proteins, lipoproteins, and what they effectively do is they modulate the immune system to ensure that the immune system doesn't attack Lyme disease, Borrelia, and so it can persist. Why that's crucial is because what it does is it can also switch off an antibody response, and all the tests that we've got looking for Lyme disease tests for antibody responses, which means we're basically, it's not that the tests aren't effective, that people aren't being diagnosed, it's because we're looking for something that isn't even there in the first place, because it's being dampened, the immune system is being switched off. There's countless research papers which, if anybody wants to get in touch and ask me for these, I can link you to them. So it begs the question, why are all the medical establishments testing for antibodies if there are countless scientific papers, even by members of the IDSA, the CDC, which prove that antibodies can be switched off? I mean, this has been proved in humans, this has been proved in animals, So we're essentially looking for something that's not there, which means that a lot of people are given misdiagnoses and a lot of people are left to suffer. Also, if there was the Lyme vaccine, which was put onto the market in the 90s, which got taken off the market because people started reacting adversely to it. That vaccine itself contained outer surface protein, OSPA, to try and make the body be able to recognise Lyme and deal with it effectively. But then what happened is people started getting sick with the same sort of symptoms that people get when they get Lyme disease, like late stage Lyme disease that's been untreated. And what that suggests is that what's going on might not necessarily be directly to do with the bacteria, but it's actually more to do with an immune suppression, kind of like AIDS, where your body just becomes so suppressed that all these other infections can start building up and make you sick, and you just carry it along with these, and they start stacking up like bricks, and you have to carry these things along with you. So then it begs the question, a lot of these Lyme protocols are very antibiotic based, completely antibiotic based, some of them, which means that what's essentially you're doing is you're getting rid of the thing that maybe caused the problem in the first place, but the after effects, which is the immune dysfunction, that isn't being dealt with at all. And that's the thing that really needs to be dealt with. I mean, with AIDS, we have actually made so much progress in that people with AIDS can live a relatively normal life and feel relatively okay. Obviously, the word relative is important there. But the same isn't being done to that extent for Lyme disease, and it desperately needs to be. Because we're not dying on the doorsteps, I think that's the reason that it's not happening. But it needs to happen so much because it is an epidemic. It's rising. You'll
Exactly right, because we're not dying. This is my dad had shingles recently, and that led to some complications. He fell down, and we had to go to the hospital. And we were there all day, and my father's he's pretty old now. He's 84, 85. He's bad knees, bad joints, and he doesn't get around very well. And they did not have comfortable chairs. Like, these chairs aren't comfortable for a person who doesn't have issues to sit in for more than 4 hours, much less 16 hours or 10 hours or 12 hours. However, we got there at 8 o'clock and at 9 o'clock in the morning, and I came home at 6 p.m. Because I couldn't stay there any longer. I actually yelled at the nurses and said, "What's going on? Why are we still sitting here?" And they were waiting for a room for him. But I was like, "He's an old man. He's having issues. He's in severe discomfort, and you guys he's just sitting here." And the nurse's response was just like, "He's not dying." So I mean that's the medical community's response. Well, it's not killing you, so too bad. Deal with it. I came home that day. He called me, and it was like midnight, and he had just gotten into a room. So he had sat there in that waiting room for some 9, 12, 15 hours. He was in that waiting room. I mean, how was that? That's our medical facilities right there for you.
See it, you'll hear stories of celebrities. You've got like Avril Lavigne and Yolanda Foster and some other people. You'll see eventually it will become such a problem that you can't ignore it. So why wait for it to get to epidemic proportions before we start going, okay, if there's immune dysfunction, how can we reset this immune dysfunction? If there is persistence, and there are countless papers which prove that there is persistence in humans, in monkeys, in mice, it's shown that Lyme disease, Borrelia, can persist. I will link you to these papers if you want. Again, these papers have been done by members of the IDSA, the CDC, in similar papers. So why then is the stance that once you've been treated with 2 weeks of antibiotics, you're just left to rot? That's what I don't understand, and that's what really drastically needs to change. Linking it to other illnesses, if we're looking for antibodies and we don't make antibodies, if you're looking at illnesses like ALS, MS, ME, any sort of autoimmune condition, and you rule out Lyme disease with antibodies, perhaps these people do have Lyme disease and they're left to get worse and worse and worse over the course of their life, because Lyme disease is a progressive illness, because we're looking for the wrong thing and we're looking in the wrong places, and then we're looking at cures which aren't cures, they're just symptom suppression. So we give anti-inflammatories, antidepressants, we let people feel a little bit better, but they just stay sick and they maintain sick and they get worse and worse. And people with Lyme disease or MS or ME who are watching this video will be jumping up because they'll be able to relate to that. So what I say to you is okay, this is another very important thing, and it's directly to the Lyme and ME and MS, all those sufferers, is we are kind of fragmented because we're all looking for our own personal cures in different places. Like, I'm going, oh, I can do this herbal protocol, I can do this antibiotic protocol. But what that essentially does is makes us scatter to the wind, when what we need is to be solid, man. We need to be one unit if we're to overcome this. Like with the AIDS, there was a movement, and that same movement isn't happening because everybody is on their own individual little journey to get better. But I can tell you this, when there's a cure, it will be a cure for absolutely everyone. It won't be a cure for just me, it won't be a cure for just somebody else who's followed their individual protocol. When there's a cure, it will be a cure for everybody. And what we need to do is we need to rally, and we need to join as people, as a group, as a collective. And this isn't just sick people, healthy people that know people that are suffering. You owe it to your loved ones to band together. Needs to be a movement if we're to overcome this. Anybody watching, please, please, please take this seriously. This goes for Lyme doctors as well. Any Lyme doctors who are treating with antibiotics that know that patients keep relapsing and getting sick, you owe it to your patients to start going, okay, if people are relapsing, we need to all work together. Take profit out of the equation, take monetary gain, all of that stuff. Take it all out of the equation, because we are facing an epidemic and we need to get in touch with our human sides, not our business sides, if we're to make progress in this. That goes for pharmaceutical companies, that goes for government agencies who aren't looking at this hard enough. We just need to put an end to the suffering. And it's not just for my sake, like, I would happily die for the cause if it means that people don't have to go through this, because I've been fucking left, man. My job, my dream job, that's gone. And I've had to basically been housebound for most of my 20s, and that's really fucking tough. So I'm asking you, like, all the top, Gemsek, Horowitz, Klinghardt, all of those top doctors, you need to start working together, not separately with your own individualised antibiotic protocols. You need to all start working together for the sake of me, for the sake of every single person that comes into your door and supplies you with your income, please. That's what I'm saying. And to every Lyme patient, please start uniting, and don't get sidetracked by all these, okay, oh, I went to this, I did this treatment, this treatment, this treatment. Now is the time that we have to unite, and now is the time that we have to make our voices loud, man. This is ME and Lyme Disease Awareness Month, and I will be doing my best until the day that I die, or until the day that this illness is cured, to make sure that something happens, and that is my promise. So I want the same promise, you know, from like people like Keith, I've forgotten how to pronounce his last name, but KDM, all of you people who are looking at Lyme disease, from the CDC, the IDSA, all of you people who are looking at it, you owe it, regardless if it's post-treatment Lyme disease or chronic Lyme disease. I know there's a lot of debate between those two things. The outcome is the same. Patients are suffering because of something, and it could be to do with an immune cascade that means that people are becoming immune tolerant, which means that a lot of other illnesses and infections are suppressing them, like AIDS. Whatever, regardless of the terminology or the actual disease mechanisms itself, the most important thing is we start pouring efforts into creating global relief from this now. Thank you.
I'm in. Count me in. I'm going to do what I can to make more awareness on at least through my channel here. Um, at least with Lyme disease and the chronic fatigue. And I'm gonna do what I can. Like I said, I mean, uh, we. He's right. He's right. We have to band together, and we got to make our voices louder. Um, and pull together on this because like we're all trying to solve our own problem by ourselves because there's no one else doing it. So we're all grasping a hold of these straws, these weird cures and medical protocols and stuff. You know, like here I am taking, you know, I'm doing this one and I'm taking 2 livestock medications for parasites, and it's just weird. It's just odd that we've got to go to these odd lengths in order to try to find some kind of relief. Why aren't they working on this? This seems like such a simple thing to figure out. I mean, you're not trying to keep us from dying. You know, it just I don't know. But he's right. We gotta because we're not dying. It's not a priority because we'll still live to be 70 or 80 or 90 or 100 years old. We're still going to make it. It's just not going to be fun. But we're not a priority. We're not high on the list. We don't have a high fatality rate. Just the high torture rate dealing with this. All right. God damn. Another 30-minute video. But anyway, okay, that's it. Thanks, guys. Anybody with Lyme disease, please comment. Let me know how you guys are all doing. What all you all have been trying. What kind of treatments you've gone to. What extent you've gone to try to make yourself feel better. And I wanna. I've been in the dark so long by myself on this that I never really looked for any forums other than like through Reddit or something like that about it, and even then I couldn't find anything, and I just kind of gave up on it. And I've just been living with this shadowy stranger in my life, just kind of always just trying to kick it into the closet, and never really even trying to deal with it, I guess, in a straightforward sense of way. Since Ren and seeing what he's doing to overcome, it's given me a lot of motivation to push through this, because I'm not gonna get through it any other way. I've got to push through it. If I don't take charge of my life and start making some moves to make it better, then I'm going to end up like my father, who I'm watching right now, who made poor decisions. Didn't take care of himself, didn't take care of things, and now these things are multiplying and stacking up on him now, and now he's 84, he's 85, and he's in a position where he can't go back. He can't start fixing these things now, because now he's in such a physically ill, decrepit state that he can't change things. He can't get up on the roof to fix anything. He can't even bring in the groceries. I've got to help bring in the groceries. That's one of the things that I came home and moved back here for, and took over. We have a duplex. I live on this side of the house. It's a full house over here, and then he lives on the other side of the house. So it's like a duplex. It's two houses with a hallway in the middle that joins them both together. But I moved back here so that I could help him, because he can't do a lot of things now. You know, I have to do a lot of stuff for him, and it's starting to be more and more and more and more and more and more as the years go by, and I'm not getting any younger, and this disease isn't releasing me at all. So I've got to make some. If I don't make these changes soon, I'm going to be in a very bad place that there's just no hope for me to get out of. So I've got to make this effort now. So that's why I'm trying to do this YouTube stuff. I've got some other. I'm trying to make some revenue and alternate routes so that I have more than one stream of income, so that I'm not dependent on that one thing all the time. So, yeah, we gotta do things nowadays to ensure ourselves that we're not headed for a bad time. All right, I'm shutting up. I'm gonna do a whole bunch of reactions today. I got a whole lot of Chinchilla. She dropped the whole album, and I'm still behind on her stuff. So anyway, that's it. Thanks, guys. Thanks for tuning in. I'll be doing some more Lyme disease and health-related stuff. So it won't just be music reactions. We're gonna help Ren push this, and we're gonna beat this disease in mine in his lifetimes. We're gonna see an end to this. All right, that's it. Thanks, guys. Like, sub, comment. Give me the finger. This one, not this one. This one. Thumb up. And see you later. Thanks.